Hi, you're with Simon here at English Coach Today. And today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about natural aggressiveness and how your natural aggressiveness is often manifesting itself through you in an ugly way. And for a lot of guys, it's the same. For women as well. I say a lot of guys because, as a general rule, women are actually quite good at controlling their emotions when it comes to not overreacting too much aggressively. Sometimes they can be a bit rude and other things, but usually by and large, they're great peacemakers, and men have this disability of not being able to control their aggression oftentimes. And it's something that I watch in other men when they get aggressive, either unnecessarily or even when there's a good reason. But I've been monitoring it in myself, and I've slowly been coming to the conclusion that aggression is not actually bad in itself. Now, I'm not talking about anger or rage when you have those negative emotions and then they kind of stay with you and build up and they are the cause. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about natural aggression. It's a little bit different from those other things that are caused by anger and rage. Okay? Which everybody has, men and women, and it's less gender based, and it's more based on just getting angry at something really unfair. Okay, and what I've noticed is that as a rule, there is a solution here. As a rule, the solution is to channel your aggression, to channel it in a healthy way. And most of us, 90% or more of us men, we don't do that. So we could be buying something in a shop and we are taking the product to the checkout and we ask the checkout person, be it a man or a woman, for something that we need or we're getting the product checked. They see something's wrong with the product, or it's not the price, and then something goes wrong. Either they ask us to do something that we as customers don't want to do, or something that puts us basically out of our way, and we see as customers that we don't really want to do that. For example, this is just one example. And then we have some kind of altercation and say, hey, listen, you're the one with the shop here, you're trying to sell me these things. Isn't it your responsibility to go and get that, or go and do that, or have that prepared? And you can see that often in this exchange at the checkout, when you have this complication, that aggression starts building up and you do let it out. And it's just not normal anger, because the way that we express ourselves, this instinct through that specific event, it doesn't warrant that intensity. It doesn't warrant that intensity of aggressiveness. It's just really not necessary. But it happens because in that moment there is two or three things happening. The first one being that there's a kind of a misunderstanding in communication, or a not willingness to understand the other person. And then on top of that, there's a feeling of unfairness. And so that aggression kind of bolsters and starts to take hold of the man. And in this case, it's really, I can say 100% that it's really not worth it. It's a self-destructive path when it's not monitored. when you as a man, when you are not willing or not open to looking at the level of aggressiveness that you're putting into a simple situation, and that you're not able to adapt a lower level, adapt a rational level, okay, of intensity there, and to be reasonable even when the situation is not 100% reasonable, you have a problem. What I propose today is that you find ways, or men as a whole, we find ways of channeling our aggression. And that does mean actually applying the energy behind the aggression into different tasks during the day. Now that can be anything from keeping your house clean to fixing something that is yours, or that is your partner's, or maybe even your friends. But putting your mind to something, and as you are doing the task, feeling that energy, not on the level that it is when you're arguing, but feeling that energy pour through you into that what you're doing. It can even be looking after children in the right way, not using the aggression to yell or to judge or to hit or any of those crazy things, but putting that aggression into observing, putting that aggression into supporting, putting that aggression into looking after. Isn't that funny that you could use something negative as a fuel for something positive? That is the whole point of my video today. It's to get you to see how something that is rather abrasive, rather negative, can be used as a fuel source for something positive. Because if we don't learn how to use that, we are as good as animals. We are not better than animals if we just react. We need to stop, observe, give reasonable responses, not reactions, and use our aggression in ways that make our lives better. Aggression in itself is not bad, but you need to find a way to transfer or sublime that energy. Now, if that's too complex for you, if that's too abstract and out there, imagine it's the same kind of thing that you do when you're completely inspired about something. You're completely inspired about something, and then you go and you write 5 pages about that thing that you're inspired about, or you create a model or a diagram, or you go out and do something in the name of that inspiration. Believe it or not, you can do the same thing for aggression and even anger and sadness. You can sublime those feelings in the same way. All of them at their base are energy. You choose how you want to use it. Is it easier said than done? Of course it is. It takes practice. You need to practice every day to be able to take that energy and use it for something good. And you'll make mistakes. You'll have fights with people, and those fights will be ugly and uncomfortable. And this really makes up part of the process of getting rid of that ugly aggression and using that underlying energy in the aggression instead, taking its power away and using that power for something great. Could be painting the house, could be writing a book, could be helping your neighbor, but it's something that you're taking for yourself, something that's going to have a positive result for your life, and not some kind of fight with someone or some kind of feeling that you need to defend yourself when It's really unnecessary. In life, we often exaggerate on defending ourselves. In most cases, it's really not important. And focusing on building yourself up is important. And you do that through positive things, not negative things. Thanks for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time at English Coach.